What's going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another video. Today we're going to be testing out the Yilong F3 finally. Now, a little bit different today, guys. Normally I would run this machine through its paces, actual tattoos, actual people, and then I would gather my thoughts and tell you what I feel about it. I did actually run this thing for about 2 hours on a buddy of mine. Packed some black, did some lines, and it does just fine. It was on the chest, so a lot of stretching, yada yada yada. But I figured just to get the ball rolling, we'll do some lines. I got some 1205s and a 1205 and a 1209. So we'll do some lines with those. I got a big 1214, so we can test out that 4.5 stroke. I got a big 1223 that we can do some curved 1223, and then we can do some big shades with that on a higher stroke. And then I have a 1013 here, and we can do some shades with that on a shorter stroke. So I got a new mount here, so I'm going to prop this up. It's one of those octopus looking ones. I'm going to prop that up over here to the side so you guys can get a good angle, and then we'll get cracking at this, alright?
Captain Ron's Ink Experience.
Alright, so today we're just going to be using dynamic black. I use my dynamic for practicing. I got my inkies for cleaning. I got some paper towels ready to rock. So let's just start this off with our smallest liner here. And yeah, let's just start at the 4.5. Start at 4.5 at 7 volts. Oh, we're with the 5, so we're at a 5. So let's take it to 3.8 and see if that has trouble pushing a 1205. It's not going to. But I have this thing wrapped up a certain way. I don't wrap this part right here, just so that way I don't lose my stroke. Okay, so we're at a cool 7 volts, very dim screen. A lot more dim on the camera, guys, but to me it's, not too bad. So battery life seems to be pretty decent. Like I said, I ran it for 2 hours and it's only a little bit drained, and it's actually been sitting on the shelf for almost a month now, and the batteries haven't gone down or died at all, so that's a good sign. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Now these are black Buddha cartridges. They're actually pretty good. I'm actually convinced that these are the exact same cartridges as the Ink Permanent Stinger, but who knows really. Alright, so let's just let's just give it a whirl here. I got a piece of this rubber basketball here for a background. It's just how I like to practice. And let's just give it a rip. We're at 3.8. .7 volts seems to be fairly saturated. Now, most of you guys know, like on practice skin, I mean, you can pretty much run anything on practice skin, it'll take just fine. But so I guess this video will be for you know, maybe one of you guys are looking for your first machine, and you can use this video to kind of gauge whether or not you want to use it or not. So low voltage. Hopefully you guys can kind of see my hand speed here. I gotta keep peeking over here to see if you guys can see. So it's doable at 7 volts. I think 7.5 would work just a little bit better at the 3.8. Now I'm on my massage table here, so it just gonna have a little give when I push down into it. 7.5 is a little bit more. Now I'll pull the camera up. We'll do a quick overview of these when I get done with each line here. Yeah, these black butter cartridges. I think I got 2 boxes of these for like $3 on Amazon. Great for practice. Pretty smooth on. Pretty smooth on the real deal as well. I prefer the 9s. The 9s are nice and chunky. The 5s are where you expect a 5 would be. I was gonna guess probably a standard taper. They kind of just get in there and do the job. Yeah, 7.5, 3.8 does just fine. Feels rather consistent, feels pretty smooth. Has a very unique sound as well. But don't worry, we'll get to that big 4.5 stroke. We'll finish this one out right here, and then we'll go to we'll finish this piece of smoke out with the 12.9 and go from there. We'll go to the 12.9, we'll keep it at 7.5 at 3.8, see if it has any trouble with it. Now this has the hollow cup coreless motor. I've never heard of it until this machine. Seems to perform pretty well. Even when I'm resting my finger off it towards the end of my pull, I kind of habitually put pressure on the cartridge, and sometimes that will bog a machine down pretty heavily, but Doesn't seem to be slowing this machine down at all, so. Okay, let's pause it. Set the F3 to the side. Let's give it a good wipe. Alright guys, so 1205, 7.5 volts for most of it, 3.8 stroke seems to do a pretty good job. Nice, clean, consistent, saturated. Once again guys, these are on, this is on practice skin, so I did have a chance to use it on a homie of mine for about 2 hours, like I said, and yeah, worked just fine. Okay, let's put the 5 up. Let's put our pull our 9 out. Black butter. Yeah, these are actually pretty swell cartridges, especially since I got 2 boxes of them for $3.18. Not that I need any more cartridges, but I like to try new stuff. Who doesn't? Okay, we're gonna stay at 3.8. At 7.5, you guys can't see that, maybe. And see if a 9 can slow this thing down. Now it does have you can toggle the jump start off and on, which if you've seen let's throw out a little bit. If you've seen the unboxing of this machine, you will know that, but seem to be just fine. A little bit bigger than the 5, not too bad, not too much though. I was moving pretty fast there. It's always nice when you don't have to slow down because your machine doesn't slow you down, you know? We're still at 3.8. First one's a little wispy, but so let's go ahead and let's take it to 4.2. Keep it at 7.5 and see if that yields any different results. I feel like it's hitting a little bit harder with the 4.2. We are pulling our lines as well and getting pretty good results. It's going to be a push into a pull. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's put it to 4 or 5. Let's put our volts down to 7 and see if we can still pull a pretty moderate line, or pull a line at some moderate speed here. I'm going for a push. Pull this back in a little bit. Yeah, just fine. Okay, so this is our so 9 rail on this side. This is our five RL. Seems to do just fine on our lining strokes here. No loss of power. Lines are saturated. Probably not the best choice for a 9, but that's why we got this big 14 RS here. This is a big boy. Alright, so this is an Illusionist. Really not too bad. Packaged pretty poorly, but they are very... this is one of the very first cartridges I reviewed, actually. And I didn't like them when I first tried them because they have a strong membrane. And when I was just starting out, I was upset because my CNC Q6 couldn't push these, so that made me upset. So, but they are actually quite good. I've had these for quite a long time now. So, I had this happen to me on my now it might be because it has a stronger membrane. It's still pretty stiff as well. Okay, we're at 4 or 5. Let's take this to 8. Let's take this to 8, see if we can get a consistent round shader pull here. This is our 12-14. Let's pull a straight one real quick and then we'll see. Eight volts, 4 or 5. Lordy. Sorry about that, guys. Nice and chunky. Cool. Let's see what we can do here with our. We'll line this smoke out real quick and then pull some lines with the 14. See if this thing can keep it up. Now this takes time, guys. I'm sorry. This is 8.5. We're gonna see if we can move a little bit here and not lose any consistency. Seems to be thumping. 8.5 is pretty comfortable. I'm still able to move fairly quickly. I'm not ripping the skin up and saturating and all that jazz. Now, usually I would want to try to keep this thing up, angle it just a little bit, and push it in. But since it's fake skin, it's not really gonna make a difference. But if this was actual skin, I'd be wanting to stretch the hell out of this and probably go a whole lot slower. I'm not the best at pushing these big liners. I do still struggle, guys. I'm doing my best to hold this mostly straight up and down and maybe a little pitch. Let's just pack this little circle in here since we got it out. Let's turn it down though. Turn it down to 8. Now we're still at 4.5. We're going to pack this little area in. Then we'll do a pull back and see how it looks. Well, it seemed to do just fine with that 14 RS. I knew it would. It's pretty strong. The one thing about you know, having these huge strong motors and these rotaries, I feel you know, you start to lose your sense of feel. You know what I mean? You're just driving it in there, and let's see, nice and solid. It's an RS, so I mean, you're going to see some little lines in there, but you know, those actual skin, those will heal out, be solid. You start to lose like your sense of feel. You know what I mean? Like, I go off sound mostly, and you know, feel as well. You know, 75-25, but you know, when you start using these big rotors, you start to lose that, you know, the feel of it. It's just going in there and nothing's stopping it, skin or whatever it may be. So I mean, if this is going to be your choice for a first machine, I don't know. I would suggest maybe something not super strong. Maybe get something that has a. Now this does have an eccentric wheel, so it does have a sense of, you know, a little bit of give to it. But when I first started doing this like seriously, and things really started to click for me, my lines started to pull through. I was picking up how to get my shades down. I was using a 3.5 machine, and I was eccentric wheel 3.5, and I was pushing nines no problem with that, you know. So stroke does have a big part, you know, in how efficiently you can tattoo, but everyone tattoos differently. So I'd say 3.5 is a good starting off point. You know, the good thing nowadays is machines are so cheap, so you can buy a 3.5, get a feel for that, and then, you know, make another decision. But all right, so let's keep it at 4.2. This is a big mag, so let's take it down to 6.5. It's a big 1223. Now I'm just gonna keep them out there a couple centimeters. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let's take it down to 6. See if we can get some smooth shades here. Maybe a little too hard. Let's take it down to 3.8. 3.8, 6 volts. You guys can see that, right? That's pretty black. Not super black, but it looks blacker on the camera, but it is pretty dark. Just go up a little bit here. .38, a little bit lighter. That's one pass too. I mean, that's not too bad. You know, the longer you hang your needles out, the faster it's gonna do its job. I like to just barely hang mine out. Typically, I have mine sucked in just a little bit more than this, but let's go 3.2. Do one quick out. Let's go back in. Okay, let's just go up a little bit higher. 6 volts. Oh, it's a little bit lighter. Gradual. That's what we want to see. Oh, I'm sorry, that was 3.8. We clicked back on accident. Whoops. One thing you got to be careful, guys. Ratcheting out, changing your stroke. That's exactly. I put it to 3.2 and took it straight back. So I'm looking back at this now, and it seems to be about the same opacity. You know, just a little bit darker on the 4.2, but let's go over. And we're at 3.2 now. Let's see if we can get a lighter shade with one pass. Seems to be about the same. Now we're at a low voltage with the big mag, and this is doing pretty good at putting it down. So let's go to 2.7. Now it did bring our throw in a little bit more, so we're gonna suck our or put our needles out to compensate for that. Let's go over here a little bit more. A little bit lighter, I guess. Let's bring them in just a little bit. I'll go up top here and try to make this one piece. Let's continue on. It's good practice. .27. Let's put it down. This is a standard mag, so we're getting some standard looking shading here, I guess. All right. Pretty even for being black. A little off right there, but this is because I adjusted my hand speed a little too fast. See, it kind of skips right there. My hand speed wasn't matching my volts. Cool. Let's plug in the 1013 and call this a night. Seemed to do just fine. Yeah, good machine. I mean, it's, you know, not good all-arounder, I suppose. We'll see how it does with this 1013. Yeah, 1013, this is a Warrior. It's another Amazon. I believe these are made in Italy. Well, at least the paperwork's Italian. Let's keep it at 2.7. Let's go into our black here. Keep it at 2.7. a 2.7. We'll just go over here a little bit. Let's throw some pendulums down here. See if we can continue it on. Pretty seamless, pretty seamless. This is great practice right here, guys, if you're trying to figure out how to get your shades even all the way through. Now we'll see if we can blend it in from the top, make it look like one solid patch. Pretty close, a little light right here. Probably get it started just down a little bit. I can kind of see where it's joined up. But yeah, like I said, good practice right here, guys. We're still at a low volt 6, 2.7. It's doing just fine. Now, how this would act on shading on actual skin, I'm not too sure. You know, it's a different environment on actual skin. Now the name of the game here is trying to keep our hand speed the same to get the same results. And you can always backstroke to smooth it out, front stroke to put more down faster, you know. And I mean, by using the back of the cartridge as a backstroke, I'm going out, but I'm using the back of the cartridge, so. I don't know how, but this turned into another how-to video. A little uneven right there, but we'll just... Now if we want to go darker, we can just... So remember, we brushed it in this way. Now if we go, I'm going to turn my skin this way, obviously, but I'm going to keep the same direction just for the sake of my wrist here. If we want to go darker, we can... crosshatch here, and it'll kind of fill those holes that see a little bit darker, but not completely black, but yet it's still subtle and still subtle, still soft. Cool. This is our 1223 higher stroke 4.2. I would never probably try a 4.2 on skin with shading, you know what I mean? This puts it down too fast for me personally. But I think 3.8 or 3.8 on accident again, 3.2. I think this is our 2.7, I believe. 2.7. We never got to 2.3. I don't see the point. See here, my hand speed jumped up. We see a skip right here, if you're looking closely. And this is with our 1013 cross-hatched 2.7, 6 volts. Cool. What do you guys think? Kind of a guerrilla style ratchet video, but either way, it's a good review. I'd say a good test for this machine here. If I feel the need to, I'll grab this thing and try to get some more human skin time on it. But so far, I mean, my final thoughts, I mean, it's a good machine. It's got good battery life. It's got good voltage range. You got lots of adjustability. It is on the weightier side, but I mean, I think, what is this retail? $238 for the single battery one, and a little bit more for the double battery. Comes with the case. The Yilong company people seem to be pretty decent at their customer service, so that's automatically a couple extra brownie points for them. Customer service to some of these guys is just absolutely trash. So yeah, so Yilong F3, it gets a thumbs up in my book. Good machine. 2 batteries. Comes in 3 different colors. It's got some weight to it. It's not too terrible. I mean, if you're the person that likes to use more of the weight of your machine to do a lot of the work for you, which is a good habit to have, this might be a good option for you. So the way I wrap my machine, I didn't have any issues with this thing popping off. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think it's pretty decent. If you have any questions, just let me know. Holler at me in the comments below. My name is Ron. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Wow!